This is Fred Wall, the Visa Coach, and today's topic is 7 K1 Fiance Visa don'ts. What not to do.
Visa Coach. Fast, easy, and personal.
I am Fred Wall, the Visa Coach, and I am known for the personal, one-on-one relationship that we share. That's you, me, and your partner, as we work together as a team to overcome the many challenges of immigration. Don't risk your happiness. Don't go this course alone. Alone, it's far too easy to make mistakes that cause tears, delays, and expensive denials. Do pick up the phone and speak with me directly so that you and I can get to know each other. This is the free consultation I talk about later. Now, if we are compatible, that'll be the beginning of our beautiful relationship to get you the immigration approvals that you need. Now, this is what two of my clients, Mark and Ivy, had to say. Ivy comes from the Philippines, and I helped her get her fiancé visa. Thank you so much, Fred, for all you have done. When Ivy and I started this process, we had no idea how much actually went into this. I understand that. You stepped up and gave us detailed information from day one till the very end of this process. Always so professional and helpful every time I called or emailed. Your response time to our emails was amazing. We never had to wait around for answers. You were very quick to answer all of our questions. We never could have made it through this process without you. Thanks again, Mr. Wall. Visa Coach has made all of our dreams come true. I highly recommend you to everyone and anyone who is considering starting the fiancé petition. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about fiancé visa don'ts. And these are 7 tips that when I am working with my clients, I always advise them what not to do. Tip number 1, don't attempt to game the visa process by applying for another visa. So don't apply for tourist, student, or employment visas because you think they are simpler or faster than the fiancé visa. If your goal is a life together, the fiancé visa is the only legitimate path and the only path likely to succeed. Not only does applying for the wrong visa waste time waiting to hear that the bogus application has been rejected, but it serves to flag your fiancé or spouse as someone who probably is desperate to enter the U.S. any way possible. All fiancé visa applications are initially viewed skeptically by USCIS and the State Department because they know that this is an area where previous fraud has occurred. Gigolos, gold diggers, con men, even terrorists have used fiancé visas as a way to break into the USA. The official's mission is to prevent abuse and to catch fraud. It's not to bring happy couples together. Applying for a fiancé visa after unsuccessfully applying for the inappropriate visas will subject your fiancé to extra scrutiny, which could result in delays or even outright rejection. Tip number 2, don't try to get around the requirement to meet in person, face-to-face, unless it is truly impossible to travel to meet. Inconvenient is never a good enough reason. Don't apply for a waiver to avoid the requirement to meet your fiancé in person unless it is incontrovertible that you are not physically able to meet him or her. Attempting to avoid the meeting reflects poorly on the sincerity of your relationship. The fiancé visa eligibility rules require that you have met your fiancé in person within the last 2 years prior to filing your application. These regulations provide a loophole allowing a waiver to the physical meeting. And this waiver has been written to allow couples with special circumstances to skip the meeting. specifically if the meeting will cause unusual hardship or violate strict cultural or religious practices. If your religion arranges marriages and the bride and groom are not allowed to see each other till the wedding day, or, well, if you are in an iron lung, God bless you if you are, then by all means apply for the waiver. However, not wanting to fly or wanting to avoid the expense of a plane ticket or having a busy work schedule is not a valid excuse that will result in a waiver being granted. And worse, it reflects badly on how genuine your relationship is. USCIS needs to be convinced of the seriousness and sincerity, the bona fides of your relationship in order to approve the visa application. They expect a sincere suitor to take every possible opportunity to spend time with his or her lover. Attempting to avoid the meeting will attract unwanted suspicion. Tip number 3, don't let too much time pass between your last in-person face-to-face meeting with your fiancé and the time when you submit the fiancé visa application. Officially, you can wait almost 2 years since your last face-to-face and still be eligible to apply. But really imagine how bad that looks in the eyes of a consular officer. You claim you can't live without this person. You want to spend the rest of your lives together, but you haven't really bothered to take the time and effort to even visit once in over 2 years. I always recommend my clients to submit as soon as possible after return from a trip when they were with their fiancé. Normally, we start work on the application a few months before the trip in order to get organized. I send my client with forms to sign and detailed personalized checklists on what to do and bring back from the trip. Usually, the VisaCoach front-loaded petition that I work on is already, 90% already ready on my desk during the trip. Then, just as soon as my client returns and gives me the final bits and pieces, we submit. This way, we submit while the flames of their bona fide relationship are burning the brightest. Tip number 4, don't allow more than 6 to 9 months to pass between face-to-face meetings. Do travel to meet your fiancé as often as you can afford the time and money. The more you act like a couple that can't bear to be separated, the more likely your petition will be smoothly approved. Tip number 5, don't hide details about your prior marriages. A common, and all too common, cause of denial is when U.S. immigration learns that one of the couple did not disclose a previous marriage. Usually, this is the U.S. sponsor. Regardless of where and when a previous marriage took place, regardless of how long the marriage lasted, regardless if the ceremony took place in a foreign country, U.S. immigration requires that you identify it and provide documentary proof such as divorce or annulment degrees or death certificates that the marriage was ended. Not disclosing all prior marriages usually ends in fast denial. Tip number 6, don't marry before traveling on the fiancé visa. Sometimes after the fiancé visa is granted, couples attempt to marry twice. First in the foreign fiancé's country, and then after traveling to the USA, marry a second time in the USA. If married before traveling to the USA, the fiancé visa is made invalid, and to use the invalid visa is considered immigration fraud. At the border crossing upon entry to the U.S., the inspecting officer will take the foreign fiancé out of the line, to a side room, and ask her or him a few questions, such as, are you single? If the officer suspects your fiancé is already married, she or he will be refused entry to the USA and sent back on the next flight. The application process would then need to be started completely over this time with the husband or the American spouse now petitioning for a spouse visa. It is okay to enjoy an informal celebration with the fiancé's family and friends, but never acceptable to be officially married before traveling on the K1 Fiance Visa. And the final tip number 7, don't keep skeletons in your closet secret from your fiancé. Had a run-in with the law? Bad previous marriage? Don't let the consular officer be the one to break the news to your fiancé. Your fiancé should know the full story, so if asked, your fiancé can confirm not only that she or he knows all about you and your past, but is also confident that whatever happened in the past won't be repeated and is not expected to cause any problems in the future of your marriage and future lives together. Now, the way to ensure that you don't have to remember all of these don'ts or remember all of the do's is to hire me, the Visa Coach, to help you. I will do the remembering for you and bring you safely through to the other side. This was Fred Wall, the Visa Coach. Now please like or add your comments to this video, and then go to VisaCoach.com and sign up for the Visa Coach monthly newsletter. Each month it is full of tips and advice on immigration, and it's free of charge. Finally, when you are ready to get started, well, call for your free consultation and speak with me directly.
Before starting your immigration adventure, before entering an arcane maze of rules, regulations, and procedures, before committing yourself to a risky path that could mean an end to your happiness, speak with the Visa Coach and ask for his free consultation. He listens to you to learn the red flags and strengths of your case, your eligibility and goals. He will suggest which visa is right for you, the best strategy to get it, and how soon your love can join you. The friendly advice and wisdom he'll freely share with you might make the difference between approval and denial, and could save you months or years of loneliness and separation. What have you got to lose? Book your free consultation today.